Music Matters. I'm Dante Pellegrino from AboveTheBridgeMusic.com here with Lil Darkie. How you doing, my man?
Hello.
I appreciate you sitting down with me.
What's up? I'm fucking chilling the fuck out and hanging out with you now.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm excited. So I think the first thing I wanted to ask you about was a comparison that I feel like I've been making a lot in my head, and I feel like it's accurate based on like your influences and who you surround yourself with. I look at Spider Gang a lot like Odd Future. I feel like you guys are kind of like a collective in that sense, where even beyond the music, you guys are more family based. Would you say that's true?
I'd say that is what a lot of my inspiration comes from. Mm-hmm. That's like some of my biggest influence is Odd Future, mm-hmm. and I get why you might come to that conclusion. But I think we're a completely unique group of individuals, and to compare us to any other group, I think would be a disservice to the individual members and personalities that are in the group. Mm-hmm. And I think we take a lot of influence from Odd Future. Shout out them, a lot of inspiration. But we're our own people.
I mean, you guys are your own separate thing, and I feel like that's part of what makes Spider Gang such a unique thing too. Is you guys are all such unique people. Like, do you feel like you guys are similar in that sense that none of you guys? I feel like you guys all feel like you're unique.
I don't know. Do we think we're unique? What do you think, MK? Do we think we're unique?
I think we're pretty unique.
What do you think? Do you think we're unique?
Yeah. I think we're all.
I think we all think we're unique.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we put a lot of thought into what we are, though.
Yeah. It's just kind of natural.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't think anything is anything. I think that's like kind of what our group is about. It's like, what the fuck is it even? I don't know. You figure it out.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like weird, chaotic bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful chaos.
Yeah, it's beautiful chaos. I don't know, bro. Sometimes we want to do a skit. Sometimes we might want to do a cartoon. Sometimes we might want to do just like a live performance or a jam session or something, or a music video, or like this interview. I don't know. It's just all like media. It's something to fill something.
Yeah.
Art.
I mean, I feel like you too. Like when you said like it's just media. I feel like you individually with everybody, you're very involved in different kinds of media. Like it seems to me that you put as much effort into your videos as you do your music and your characters and your drawings and everything. To me, I feel like your brand and your image is really like all encompassing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we have a lot of, I think, a variety of talents in Spider Gang that I like, that I think we've accumulated consciously, but also unconsciously. At first, it was just people that were like vibing and understanding, like kind of more what everyone around them was like feeling and meeting over the internet, and then from there we started putting more conscious effort into starting to curate. Oh, this person that we know, maybe they'd be good for the group and stuff like that. I don't know. We've kind of gone with the flow, and like it only really now has existed, I think, in its current form for like just now getting to like a year, not even a year yet. Mm-hmm. So it's been around for 2.5 years or something, I think, but fucking, I don't know, to the moon, you know what I'm saying? Hold the line.
Yeah, I feel it. And
we're going crazy. We're putting a lot of effort into our shit, trying to diversify it, and like, honestly, everyone has their own goals in Spider Gang. Brumain has his own goal. He wants to go roam free in like Bolivia or something, and fucking MK probably wants to go like get checked into an institution forever and be pumped full of hormones and tested on and fucking I don't know what Corpse wants. He probably wants to die. John Askus probably wants to fucking be like superhumanly upgraded and live hella long. I don't know. Everyone has their own feelings about what they want to do post Spider Gang or while the group is coming up, but I think that's the beauty of the group is we don't even really know. We exist not because we even like wanted to. That's how I feel about it. Like we don't even exist because we super like wanted to be like a rap collective. We just kind of like it just like we kind of did that because like other people wanted it as much as we did. Mm-hmm. It just like kind of happened. We were like, oh, we kind of like our group of niggas that do shit. We should come up with a name or something. And then now we're fucking here. It's nice, bro.
Yeah. And when you say like you guys all have individual goals, what is your goal, do you think? Like just in general, like if you were to want to spread one message, what do you think it would be?
don't fucking give so much of a shit, bro. I waste so much fucking time every fucking day just like giving a massive fucking shit about like something, and then like I realize that I shouldn't have done that like every day. That happens like all the time. Like just don't give so much of a shit about like what, especially about like what other people think or like any of that, because it's super easy to feel like you need to like prioritize anything other than like your own experience
yourself.
And, like, it's important in a world where everyone wants something from you, everything needs something from you. You're told you have to do this, you're told you have to do that. In a world of that demands so much from you, it's important to take as much from it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're right. It's about like being in that present moment and just putting yourself first.
Yeah, and understanding that like with art and with music, like there's always going to be just like people from all over that are in different phases of life and having different experiences and suffering or they're ecstatic in life is great, and like you have to understand it's complex. Don't waste your fucking time worrying about all that shit, and like take your time to be a human when you need to, but really focus on growth, focus on yourself, and focus on forwarding your progression into what you care about, because like, you know, wasting time is the last thing you should be doing.
When you say there's like people, like different people who listen to stuff,
I'll say this: there was a ghosty fucking video we were looking at. What was it? The live performance for what?
I think it was called DH.
We were watching a live performance by Ghosty, and one of the lyrics was, "You're wasting time. That's the only thing we have." Right?
Yeah.
That line really hit home for me, because it's like that's the kind of advice I want to impart on the world. Is like, just express yourself in whatever way. Help people if you want to help people. Don't help anyone except, you know, yourself. If you really if that's not your mission. If your mission's to like do something and you found that thing, just do it. Because like the worst thing is to be like there in your final moments, like regretting something.
Yeah.
That's the message I want to impart. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded.
Yeah. Well, no, I get that. It's about like living life without, you know, I don't want to say no regrets. That sounds like, you know, stereotypical, but it's just about like living life the way you want. And I feel like that's what you do. You live life the way you want, and you're in the present moment.
As much as I can.
Yeah. Do you ever worry about the future, like, of your musicianship? Do you feel like, do you have like if you had like a long-term plan?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I think everybody worries about the future of their musicianship all the time. I think any good musician worries about the future of his or her musicianship. But I think like my plan is to continue to diversify my expression and continue to help other people curate their expression better. That's like my goal. I want to kind of inspire people to want to grow. Because helping people learn and helping people grow is important, but I think something that's more important that is inspiring people to want to grow.
Yeah.
Because no change happens unless it starts from within. So like I think that's like my goal, is to start doing things that promote that, like videos about health, videos about maybe like fitness, or about curating skills like guitar, or like different instruments. I'm learning a lot of instruments myself right now, and I think learning new instruments is good for the mind. So like when I'm an adult, I might want to start programs or help do things over the internet that can help people learn or develop themselves more.
What instruments are you learning?
I'm learning banjo and guitar, and obviously because I'm learning guitar, I'm also, you know, fiddling around with like bass and similar instruments.
Yeah.
I think the only other instrument right now that I have in my possession is some tablas.
Yeah, and dulcimer.
And a dulcimer that I play. It's nice. MK has been learning violin. We've all been learning a lot of different instruments.
Sick.
Yeah.
Like a band almost.
Yeah, that's the goal too. I think in the
Okay.
future we want to start a lot more musical projects and bands and jam together. We want to move into also entertainment, like skits, comedy. You know, there in you know, if we do a show or something that's a comedy show, there might be music within that show that could be put on streaming platforms. Like there's a lot of ways we want to diversify our business and try new shit over this next year. So I think this year is going to be very exciting. I think I think the only other thing that I'm missing is religiously and spiritually. I want to help people connect.
In what way do you think? Like, spread your religion?
I don't have like a real like religion. I just kind of, I don't want to like go around preaching to people or do anything. You know, when you try to go and help people spiritually, it can get messy because that's a lot of responsibility trying to help somebody with something so deep in their life. And I, you know, I want to make sure that I probably do that later in life, but I want to help people spiritually, or maybe help myself first, like go be in a monastery for a while or something, because like I think that's an aspect of life, letting go of the physical and the money and the, you know, talking to you here and all this shit that's real in one world. You know, there's a whole other world inside of yourself that you're not exploring when you're living your life so externally. So I kind of want to go find myself internally more, and then help people be able to do that, because I think a lot of people are lost nowadays. Like I haven't met very many put together people.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
No, but I see what you're saying with the like, you know, monetary and what's in front of you, and I feel like religion, that belief in something that you can't physically see, it kind of fosters the idea that sometimes growth is something you can't predict. Like, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day after that. Yeah, so it's like, I feel like, I think you have a point in the terms of like, you know, religion isn't always just a god. Religion can be a lot of different things.
Yeah. Do you think God's real?
Personally, no. I'm not very religious at all. But the thing is, though, I think in the same way, I feel like you probably would agree with the sentiment. I'm not religious, but I completely understand and respect why anybody would want to be religious. Like, the way I look at it is like having that belief in something higher than you, you know, like a next stage, a next step in life. I feel like that can bring a lot of value to somebody.
Have you ever like had a spiritual experience in your life?
No, not really. One thing that comes to mind, though, I mean, this is, you know, more so you. Do you think, you talk about mushrooms and psilocybin a lot in your music. Do you think that ties into your spirituality a lot? Because I feel like those are one and the same.
Yeah, I definitely think that like I've had a majority of my spiritual experiences in this life either dreaming or like off a psychedelic drug or something like that. Mainly psilocybin. And I think that I believe in something, but I don't know what the fuck it is.
Did you believe in anything
I don't
before?
even know how the fuck I would put words on what I think is real. I don't even know if I know what I think is real has a name. It's confusing, you know. I've seen and experienced things that I just have no fucking explanation for. It's some shit that like transcends even like being able to talk about it. So yeah, I do think there's something there, but like I'm not an authority over what it is.
Yeah.
I think everyone has to experience that for themselves. I think in terms of spirituality, I just want people to be able to cope with and deal with like mortality and the mortality and, you know, the non-permanent nature of everything that we experience as people.
Have you found value in experiencing things like ego death?
Yeah, bro. Because you just realize how much fucking fear and like bullshit like you're holding on to a lot. You realize how much negative feeling and just like negative patterns you have built up in your head when you have something like that, and it all unravels and you're just kind of like yucky feeling. It's like, ugh. Like,
it's facing yourself.
Yeah, it's facing what you've allowed to become what you are. You know,
I think that's a good way of putting it. And it's like you bury so much, but I can only imagine in a state like that, you have no choice but to face it. And I feel like that's why there could be so much value in something like that.
Yeah, I think recent spiritual experiences and like just life experience and just becoming a large independent artist and experiencing all that, and all of it is just forcing a kind of a metamorphosis, I think, for like myself and like my art.
Yeah,
it's more of a feeling, you know, that like I've come this far, and there's many like routes that I can take, but I kind of have to like sit and like just reassess it.
Do you think being independent's a big part of that? Because you're, in a lot of ways, you do and function a lot of the ways that a label would. You know, you distribute your own music, you do a lot of your own videos, and I feel like you market and talk to people who help you with the things that you don't know how to do yet. Do you feel like you've almost been your own label?
No. I've been my own like, manager and
Yeah.
my own artist. There's some artists that aren't their own artists,
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's some artists that are their own artists and they're not their own manager. There's some artists, everyone takes on different roles for what they want in their career. But I personally have taken on a lot of effort of the, brute force for my career up to this point, and somewhat with Spider Gang. But now in Spider Gang, everybody, now that we're physically closer together now as well, and we can all be together, a lot more effort has been distributed, and I think everybody's really pushing to do some really crazy shit this year. Everybody individually is going to start coming to the forefront with some more inspiring content, in my opinion.
Are you guys all in the same area now?
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You're still all over the
everybody's
place.
kind of all over the place and doing their own thing, but we try to congregate more often than we could before. Especially with this, the whole pandemic has only started loosening up, so we couldn't really do anything. But
yeah.
It feels really good to be around each other and to kind of have that like community and that sense of like family. But yeah.
Has that been hard to navigate, like in the past? When you guys were all still coming up and working together, it's like, was it hard to navigate working together when you all were so far distance-wise?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
If we were all together, I think like twice as much shit would have happened. You know, when people are living their life over the internet and it's connected but also disconnected. But we're making more of an effort to legitimize our business and do more crazy ass shit, and it's cool. And I'm excited for these guys to shine more, dude. Like, I'm fucking the biggest member right now, but like these guys, in my opinion, deserve way more shine than they get, even than me. Like, these niggas deserve to be at the forefront of this shit. I'm excited for, you, everyone watching this, to be able to see some more shit from the other niggas in Spider Gang, because they're great and fucking super unique and awesome and cool.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. But yeah. I think that's so dope, too, that you seem like you're not very interested in your own individual growth as much as you are, one, having the people around you grow, and then two, spreading your message.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you're right. I haven't been so focused on like my own individual growth until this year.
Okay.
Besides like learning to perform better and do vocals better and curate my music, I haven't put a lot of effort into like my own personal development as a man. And now that I have the mobility and what we're doing is of a size that I have some time to step back and really like think about it, I'm going to be taking this year to not only just experiment and put out like new cool ideas, but also take the time to focus on myself and like become a version of self that I can be more proud of. Because if you let it, music will take a lot from you. Like, it'll take the soul from you. Like, you'll spend so much time making something real that you forget that your happiness matters, or that like your health matters. And so I'm taking some time now to like really rejuvenate my connection with my body and like my sense of self, so that I can make better art for everybody ultimately.
Yeah,
because if I don't want to like be one of those artists that lets himself fucking deteriorate for years and shit.
And I mean, we see that so often now, right? With so many different artists. It's like these people are putting, not to say it's their own fault. A lot of the times I feel like, for example, maybe you or somebody else is doing so and putting the music first in such a way because they, one, care about their art, but then they also just want to spread what they're doing to people. But in the process, like you said, they become obsessive and it's hard to balance. I can only imagine. Do seeing people like that, like around you, so let's say like X or Mac or all these other rappers who unfortunately have been passing away, does that take any toll on you in terms of trying to get yourself balanced better? I
don't think. I mean, I had a huge connection just with inspiration, idolatry with like Mac Miller. He was a huge idol for me, and I think X in different ways. Everybody has their own opinion on X, and mine was that I'm inspired by him. I think his life was inspiring, and I think his life has taught me a lot just from me observing it. and Lil Peep, another great guy. These are just like the ones that everyone knows, Juice World, but like
there's hundreds more.
Our artists are passing all the time, and we hear about it more now that the internet like connects it. And I think that doesn't make it difficult for me to like get in touch with my spirituality, because like it used to, maybe a little bit, but like I've grown out of that. Like when you're a smaller artist and you're more insecure, that stuff bothers you a little bit more. But when you're up, you realize that's just like what this is. Yeah. I think something that like makes it harder for me to get in touch with like my connection as an artist is more so like artists that are fucking living, like seeing fucking like there's hella pieces of shit just everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like it's right in front of everyone. Like I'm not saying anything no one knows, but like there's just, you come into contact with a lot of fucking deplorable niggas, and it's retarded, and that is harder to deal with, I think, than like fucking the loss of good or growing men.
Yeah, it's like the idea that these people were great and alive, it kind of outshadows the the thought that there are people who are still alive that are not really the best kind of people.
Yeah, and people that are still alive that are great.
Yeah.
And then and I think it says a lot about us as people, as human beings, and as a society of people, that people receive love more when they're gone than they ever do when they're here.
It's kind of sad, huh?
Because they become an idea.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, fucking without a doubt, like, it's going to happen to everyone.
Yeah.
Every single person. That's just how it is. Like, for now.
Mm-hmm. In terms of death, I feel like...
Because no one's going to fucking... It's not a headline if you're alive.
You're right, yeah.
Unless you're doing some crazy-ass shit. Like, it only matters when you're gone. It's ridiculous. Because then people can feel something about it or gawk about it for a little bit. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Like you said, it's a headline. It's a story, Somebody living their day-to-day life as an artist isn't a story in the same way as somebody passing is.
MF Doom we didn't even really... It wasn't a headline until like 2 months later.
Yeah.
And we were all hit hella hard by it, and like Corpse and I fucking were crying that day, and it was really intense, but it's like he had been gone for months.
And we just didn't know.
And we had no idea. So it just shows you like the knowing about it is the thing that is, it affects you until you realize that it's like, it's not really like as real.
Yeah. Was he a big influence on you? Because I feel like in a lot of the ways,
somewhat, yeah.
You portrayed a character in terms of like, the animation and everything. He portrayed a character with the mask. I could definitely see a parallel there.
Yeah, MF Doom and especially also Quasimodo.
Okay.
By Madlib. They were big inspirations for the cartoon character at first. Their influences on me, I think, in my boom bap music that I make, or my hip hop that I make, in the way that I write lyrics. But I think that they're more of an influence on me in my life, in the way that I perceive, the real world. I think their poetry and their words and their way of like putting art together has opened my mind to like different ways of experiencing music, or like experiencing just life, or appreciating like a moment. When you there's some like moments that are just so special, but like if the music wasn't playing, it wouldn't have been that moment. And those are a few artists that are, like do that for me.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thought.
And those guys, there's MF Doom up there. And there's the Gorillas up there. The Gorillas are huge inspiration.
I was gonna say that's another clear parallel there with the whole 3D thing they do with the whole internet characters and stuff. That's very unique, and in a big sense, that's a similar thing to what you're doing.
Yeah, I always wondered how they did that shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Because you think like nowadays you can just like download Blender and do some 3D shit, or you can do 2D animation by yourself. But like back in the day, it was like a crazy marvel. Like how the fuck did they?
And like when did Plastic Beach come out? Like they were on that early.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish they would go back to some of their, some of their more, I don't know, grungier sounds.
Yeah.
Or more underground sounds.
Did you like their new record?
I didn't really pay a good listen to it. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. It's unfortunate, but it's a side effect of just being an artist that like has happened for me. So I don't really listen to a whole lot of new music or get around to it very fast.
That's interesting. Do you find
spending
yourself
a lot of time
like...
listening to my own beats or my friends' music and giving people recommendations? But like that's a advantage because I'm not being influenced by anything, and I'm doing my own thing. But then also like I might lose some inspiration that I could have been getting. You know, when you go 6 months without really trying to fucking ever sit down and listen to an album by anyone other than people you know, it kind of, you get disconnected from music sometimes.
Do you find it's different, or that it takes its place when you're getting inspired by people around you opposed to people you're so removed from?
I think getting inspired by people you're around is just better.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, fuck people I don't know. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The fucking people doing some shit somewhere I don't even know is real.
Well, they're an idea, kind of like what you were saying. It's like
I'd rather just be here with Bromane and hang out and like play a video game and talk about some shit, or like hang out with Janaskis and like bother him and he tells me shut up, or like fucking MK and I laugh about milkies and shit. we start talking about mommy milkers and we start laughing all the time. Big mommy juggers. Juggernaut milker, jiggling jiggers, dude. And then Corp's always in his room alone, but like never fucking with niggas ever, never coming out to hang out with anyone. Yeah, I don't know. Having a family is important. This is just like just to start the conversation on a new route. Having people around you that are inspiring and that love you is super important. And I think a lot of artists just don't have people around them that like love them. You can just hear it in the music nowadays, and it's super uninspiring.
Yeah, and that's that's a problem. Obviously, like when people, like for example, maybe Mac or some of these other artists that have passed, a lot of the times they're dying alone, working hard. But it's like, if you're not dying around with people you love, what do you really have?
Or
and
living
I feel
the
like
life you really want to live. And I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know what he was doing in his life at that time, or if he was more or less fulfilled in how he felt. But definitely, I know what you're saying. Artists are like going fucking. They're always in like just some crazy phase of their life when that's just happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Spider Gang. I feel like whatever came at you're around people. Like, you have enough people around you that could help you and hold you up, and I feel like that's something so valuable about that.
Dude, I think it's also like, it's unique because like this is one of the only groups of there's somebody coming in here. It's one of the only groups of people I've ever been in where like I don't even give a fuck about like music. Like when it comes to them, really. Like the music is great and we all love it and we do it together because it's fun and we enjoy it, but I don't know. For me, it's just more about like these people. Like these are my family, you know. Oh, amazing! What is this? Is this a mango thing? Dude, I got a mango thing.
That's what's up, man.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Having people around you that you love is important.
Yeah. Growing up, did you feel like you ever had like a big family kind of group like that, or did you feel isolated in a sense?
I always felt close to my immediate family, but isolated from my extended family.
Yeah.
Some of my extended family got close to me in my youth, but I don't know. As I've gotten older, it's kind of just mainly my close family, and I find that family is more than blood for me. Family is more about just like who people are inside.
What about in terms of like friends? Because I know I was watching your Cult Classic interview, and you touched on like getting bullied and stuff in school. And do you think that motivates your music a lot now?
Yeah, I get kind of like standoffish about a lot of people. And kind of self-isolationist.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm like scared to like trust very many people. But I'm kind of getting over that. I'm kind of realizing it's like, fuck it, whatever, you know. Got to start reaching out and working with some people and doing some new shit because, you know, might as well.
Yeah.
But
are you reaching out to other artists?
It's an effect of that. It's effect of having just like a core group of people that I've always fucked with, whether it's in school or at home or whatever. I've never really had such a large group of people I'm inspired by all the time as these guys.
So do you find yourself reaching out to other people less or more then? Like in terms of opposed to like your immediate circle?
I reach out sometimes to certain people. I'm sure he won't fucking mind if I talk about it. I hit up Scarlord recently. Just fucking randomly. I was looking at some of his stuff and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that he's fucking popping up on my Explorer.
Yeah. And
I listened to some of his stuff for a while and then decided to hit him up and see if he would be down to do something, and he responded. So, you know, I reached out to Freddie Dredd recently because I'm inspired by him too, and he responded. So I've been reaching out to a couple people that I'm inspired by to see how it goes, but yeah, I'm very fucking slow to trust just random people. Do
you think that's like directly correlated to your upbringing?
Nah. It's not directly correlated to my upbringing. It's like probably just correlated to just my life experience.
Well, outside of school, you said
I wasn't brought up to like not trust people.
Yeah.
You know, I just had a lot of experiences in life that told me that like it's better to just
you grew up in
play chess from like you know here.
a couple degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. In terms of your family, you grew up in a pretty close knit like household, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's cool that you like acknowledge that, because I don't know, to me, I feel like a lot of rappers or like people in general are so quick to say like, oh, you know, I came from somewhere difficult, but I feel like the reality is that more and more
It's
people...
almost like people want to come from like
Yeah.
something like bullshit. It's like, dude, you come from what you come from.
Yeah.
And like I've had my fair share of fucked up experiences because of like where I grew up or who I was around, and I've had my fair share of just like fucking fine normal experiences. I don't come from anything too good or too bad. I just come from where I come from.
And I feel like that's the vast majority of people. You come from a normal, at least it seems like a somewhat normal place, somewhat normal household. And I don't really know why people try to glorify the bad parts of that.
It's because hip hop's fucking. It's just getting tainted. It was it was one thing, and it's been many things over the years. But now, I don't know. I think music and hip hop and just people we're ready for just the Renaissance, bro. Like it's just time for like new shit to happen. It's time for new people to come and do whatever and say fuck it, because like there's a bunch of dumb bullshit people trying to make up a fucking story and I'm this guy from here and I do this, and they're always trying to pop up in front of your face or say things for attention or fucking it's played out. Like people want just regular ass good people to look up to again, I think.
Does that scene kind of does that make you want to less identify with hip hop more? Because I feel like there are a lot of genres in your music.
I don't know. I think what we are will always just remain like in the air as Spider Gang. I think like what we do and the genres we make and all the shit we do will just like it'll be defined someday.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think it has to rush to be defined. You guys just are what you are.
Yeah, and I think to self-define it would be kind of just fucking retarded. So we're not going to try to do that. But like, yeah.
It's like, why tell people what you are?
Yeah, besides gunk rock, that's literally what that is. But like, that was just kind of like for fun.
Talk about gunk rock. How did that come about?
Oh, yeah. So that was just like me, Eddie, and Flacco all just formed a group. And it was outside of Spider Gang at first. And then after it went for a while, we ended up adding them to Spider Gang.
So that's kind of like its own.
It hasn't been a thing for like a year and a half. And we're probably going to bring it back eventually. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
Is that like, so you're saying it's kind of like its own thing within Spider Gang?
Yeah. Yeah, it is within Spider Gang. We have a lot of different shit. So there's the Faggots, which is me, Brumming God, and MK. That's our band called the Faggots, where we just do a bunch of abhorrent, terrible shit. And it sounds really good.
Yeah.
And then we got fucking, what else is there in the group? We got fucking Greckham, which is Teenage Disaster, and A14. We got the Gunk Rock. We got just a bunch of,
We're gonna start more.
Yeah, we're gonna start more shit. We
As
got
many names as
we got some
possible.
ones that like can't be even spoken. I'm just kidding. We got Mizukai. It's a thing that we haven't even announced really yet, but like that exists. That's me and Wendigo. But yeah, I don't know.
Could you ever see you guys kind of like almost operating as a label, or are you very set on like sticking independent? Because I feel like artists your size, you've really been independent.
I'm comfortable
for a
with just
while.
having a distribution agreement with to help get my shit out, and then owning my masters, keeping most of my revenue. Fucking that sounds great. I don't want to have to give anything to anyone.
Why would you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's stupid, dude. I don't even know. I think if you're still fucking thinking you need to get signed to like be an artist nowadays, you're just kind of retarded.
I feel like COVID has proved that. It seems like in the age of Corona, and we had people communicating for work and school or whatever over Zoom. We never thought about the fact that you don't have to be in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, you don't need a record label
No.
to do anything at all.
Yeah.
And like, it's absurd nowadays. Like, you can get a camera, you can get video editing software, you can get independent distribution set up for yourself to get your music on platforms. You can make a YouTube channel. You can fucking come up with some songs and take some pictures of yourself. Like, it's not that hard. You know, you don't need... I don't think... As an artist, you're doing yourself, like, a disservice a lot of the time signing a deal. Because it's like, why the fuck do you need a bunch of, like, old retards, like, to fucking do anything? Like,
yeah.
That's stupid.
And it's really, like, it tends to be a lot of times, I feel like, too. It's, like, older people who are disconnected. Like, who is somebody else to tell you what you need when you can give it to yourself?
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. End of talking about this thing.
All right. Another thing I wanted to ask you about was, so I know you said you don't really follow a religion, but in terms of, like, a different message, let me rephrase that. When you say, like, you just want to spread positivity and help kids, like, you know, deal with their day-to-day, do you think you had musicians growing up that helped you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Tyler, the Creator was one for me. Kurt Cobain was another big one. And Nirvana.
It's, like, all over the board.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, yeah. Bob Marley. Various just EDM artists from every genre, indie rock. Just there's a lot of artists that helped me with what, you know, whether it was their lyrical content or their art or whatever message they were trying to progress, either learn something about the world or just, like, fucking escape, like, for a minute and realize that there's, like, things going on besides just, like, you know, your life.
Mm-hmm. Did you grow up with music in the household?
Mm-hmm. All the time. Hella. I grew up in a household of people that do art and like art. But nobody that does it for a job.
So do you think you were kind of in the camp of trying to break out of that and do it for a
career?
Yeah,
I kind of just, like, saw how, like, there's people that I love who are really good at some things and probably would be happier doing those things than what they're doing. So I just figured, like, why not try to, like, do something that I want to do.
I mean, I can relate to that. I feel like there's a lot of kids who grow up looking what their parents do and see how they aren't happy, and they kind of want to, you know, break out of that, pursue their own happiness.
Yeah, and I think you should. If you're a kid out there and you're questioning whether or not you should go fucking, like, do the thing that you're thinking about doing, just fucking do it. It's like fucking... You're going to regret it if you don't. You just really are. Or you're a pussy and you're not going to regret it, and you're just fucking going to fold for the rest of your life like a lawn chair over and over. And that's fine, too. That's what you want to do.
When you started this, did you ever think of it as a career? Did you think it would go to that point? Was that intentional?
Dude, no. It's like a hilarious joke. It's like a crazy fucking hilarious joke that I started a fucking rap name called Lil Darkie. And fucking just, there's people out there that, like, love it. Like, that's, like, crazy. No one, like, did you think, like, before, like, you heard about that, did you ever think that that could fucking ever happen?
I mean, no.
No, yeah, so I think about that every day, that shit's just, like, absurd. And that, like, I started it, and, like, to be real, I didn't think people were going to understand it. I kind of did it because I was, like, realizing that my art wasn't working with Brahmin. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to switch to Lil Darkie and just, like, be like, fuck all of you. I don't give a shit. I'm owning, like, who I am. And, like, it wasn't even, like, to blow up or, like, to, like, work. And then that's the thing that worked. And then now I'm here, and it all worked out.
Would you call that, like, the biggest turning point in your career, when you kind of transitioned from Brahmin to Lil Darkie?
Yeah. I plan on bringing Brahmin back this year, slowly.
In, like, what capacity?
Just to, like, experiment and do different forms of art and genres that I don't want to post on Lil Darkie. But, yeah, I think that was one of my biggest turning points, and I didn't even really realize it. It came from frustration. Like, it came from, like, I was, you know, having a lot of series of fucking, you know, experiences in my life. So, psychedelics, spiritual, just struggling in life, and... You know, it came, like, it's just weird and ironic that all it came down to was just, like, not giving a fuck.
Yeah. And, I mean, when it comes down to it, I feel like for a lot of people that is the one barrier. It's
yeah,
like
you just never really
caring.
think that. Yeah. Like caring, like, other people want you to care hella bad. Like, everybody. Like, the government wants you to give a fuck about a bunch of shit. Your mom and your dad want you to give a fuck about a bunch of shit, or whoever your guardian is, or whoever cares about you. Like, everybody's always expecting shit from everybody, and I think it's important that you shouldn't really expect very much from yourself.
When you say like Darkie,
because then when you do something, you can be hella happy about it. You shouldn't be like expecting like the fucking world from yourself, and if you can't deliver it, then you're like worthless.
When you say Darkie came out of frustration, do you feel like a lot of your songs and your art comes out of frustration?
Mm-hmm. Not all of it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. As like fuel, because I feel like,
dude, I'm fucking there's a lot of shit every day that I see, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? That's like why I made that song, the second one on my album, where it's like every time I see you on the internet, I want to die. Because it's like I fucking see a bunch of shit, and it's just like, dude, like, this shit is fucking retarded. Like, why is this, like, this is like what we are. And I see it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed in a whole lot, and I think that frustration is poison.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford to fucking feel that way about everything all the time. It'll be miserable. I'll hate everything. So like I put it in some fucking little nihilistic music, and then I feel good.
I mean, everybody needs that, right? I think everybody has some kind of venting process. It just so happens that yours might be music.
Yeah, that's mine. My venting process is through fucking not giving a fuck and saying whatever I want, and then I put visuals to it that are like crazy, and then like sometimes I'll do something because I want to make people mad on purpose, but then sometimes I'll do it because I want people to like feel something nice. I don't know, I just like fucking with people. It's just like what I do. I'm glad it's my job.
That lyric.
Thanks everyone out there for making this my fucking job. It's lit as fuck.
How long's it been your job? Like, have you been?
Yeah, I've been hella making more than enough for it to be my job for some time now, so it's fucking lit.
So you're done. You're out of
go
everything
figure.
else.
Whoa, I would have hoped at this point, fuck, shit. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people that get pretty up and then still never fucking make anything off what they're doing. But yeah.
That lyric, when I see you on the internet, I want to die. I feel like, to me too, I can totally see what you mean. When you're so connected to things like social media and like your phone, you're always fed like information. Like there's never a second where you don't see something. You can never have a time to, do what you do, vent and make music or do something to release that pressure.
Yeah, everything's a lot faster and more intense and crazier nowadays. Like everything's more and more and more. Like there's more in front of you. Like there's more noise all the time. There's more things you got to do. There's more. You hear more words from more people every day than you would before. Like just more sugar in drinks, more salt in the fucking food and different shit. Like just a whole lot. And it's important to like not get overwhelmed by it, because I get easily overwhelmed, and I can understand why other people might. And it's important to step away from it. And that's also what I like to do my music for, is for escapism. I'm a huge fan of like escaping and like listening to something, and it takes you somewhere else. And so that's what I try to do with my art.
Do you feel like you're,
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, do you think COVID-19 is real?
Do I think COVID? Personally, I do think it is real. Do you?
Dude, I think it's probably real.
Uh-huh.
I think it's real. I think that that is fucking crazy.
Are you scared of it?
Dude, are you scared of it?
I don't know. In the beginning, I don't know. It's weird. I've gone through like phases, right? Like in the beginning, I was like,
I was hella scared.
This is kind of scary. But then as things started getting better and like lockdown got a little bit less strict, I felt a little bit more comfortable. But now I feel like in the past couple months, I've actually known so many people who have gotten it. Which is only because forever I didn't know anybody who had it. But now that I know a couple people that has it, it's kind of, there's less degrees of separation, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. I think the world is crazy as fuck. You know what's crazy? Also, do you miss going to like concerts and shit?
Oh yeah.
And like performances?
Live music is literally, it's the number one thing I miss. And I can only imagine it's probably times 10 for you, because your profile from when you could perform versus now when you can't, it's a lot different.
Yeah, I don't like being around fucking stinky fucking people I don't know and shit, but like, I guess I'll perform when fucking the shit opens back up again. I don't know. It'll be fun to see people in the world and for everyone to get some life back in them again. Mm-hmm. I was scared of COVID-19 when it first started, but since then it's like whatever, nigga. This shit is stupid forever. You can't fucking be scared of it all.
Do you feel like your music is catered to a live audience more than the studio audience, or no?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe is it?
I think it's both.
You think it's both?
You wouldn't know yet.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't fucking even know because I have not even had one opportunity to
That's
try
crazy
and perform
to me.
for a lot of people.
Especially since like
I blew up after niggas was like, you can't go outside, so now it's like I can't do anything. But it's cool. Like I think I'm gonna start catering my music more towards that because I'm just interested in that.
Yeah. It's a whole other avenue of performance, and just expressing yourself. That is really true.
I want to go through a phase of the rap phase.
Yeah.
And then after I'm done being a fucking stupid, retarded rapper, I want to be in a band so that at least then, like, maybe we have a little bit of respect, a modicum of, like, some acknowledgement from, like, musicians for being, like, talented at something. And then after that, we can become fucking scumfuck, like, Twitch gamers or some shit like that and just sell out. That's my plan. And then maybe later, like, then I can do all the wholesome shit that I want to do. Between now and then, I want to, like, improve my body and mind and get to somewhere better. Because, I'm a nervous wreck. And I'm fucking crazy. I'm a crazy guy. I'm crazy. And so, like, I'm trying to, like, level out a little, Like, I need to balance out the chi.
Yeah. Have you been doing that recently in terms of, like, I guess just, getting your mind right, your body right, and kind of
since Swamp came out, I have been. Since my album Swamp came out, I've been chilling and trying to, like,
because you really were, like, back-to-back-to-back releases. There wasn't that much time in between.
What do you mean?
Like, well, I feel like Swamp came out how long after Yin?
Like, fucking, like, 6 months.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
in between then hella singles.
Yeah. So were you worked all the way through, huh?
Yeah, I think I took like 2 months off to then release Swamp, and then I've been releasing music videos, and I'm still finishing the rollout for a couple more music videos for Swamp. But I think I'm gonna start dropping music again in like fucking like late February or something. I'm gonna start just dropping every week again, maybe, or something. I don't fucking know. Like, I looked back, I didn't even realize this. After I dropped This Does Not Exist, I started dropping more music like a week after it came out, and I dropped every week after that album came out. And I was looking at that, and I was like, why the fuck did I do that? Why didn't I let my album come out and then fucking like sit there and like just be what it was and like have people look at it? Then I realized it's because I like wasn't happy with it. Like when I released This Does Not Exist, like I didn't like I wasn't fucking with like the response or like how it came out or anything because it dropped kind of funny.
Yeah.
It dropped like a little funky on all platforms, and I was like,
what do you mean?
It was super stressful. It was one of the most stressed out like time periods of my life.
Yeah.
Dropping that album, and it was just like not coming out how I wanted it to. Like
musically?
No, like I dropped it on SoundCloud, and then like SoundCloud would like take it down. Like this song is copyrighted, and I was like, but I own the song.
Yeah.
So there's just a bunch of like bullshit, and I'm realizing like whenever I'm like unsatisfied, I want to like drop music.
Yeah.
And so like I consciously after Swamp came out, like forced myself to be like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break.
'Cause you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I am. Every one of us, I think, is actually in Spider Gang in a different way, but some of us more than others.
I feel like it's hard for a lot of musicians to not be
perfectionists. Some of us be
perfectionists.
dragging our asses on the ground and be fucking retarded, but I'm just kidding. Most of us are perfectionists. We really care about our craft.
And I feel like, do you think you're in the studio so much that you have like a ton of stuff that you make that you're not dropping? 'Cause it seems like to me you always have music ready.
When I am doing like an album, I do accumulate like bullshit that I don't end up dropping for sure. Like for every 2 songs I make that get put out, there'll be like one that gets scrapped or some shit. But I don't know. I don't really like accumulate too much of a vault. Because that would probably get depressing. Because then I just have a bunch of shit that I wouldn't want to drop because I could always make something newer. So then I would just have a bunch of shit. So I try to like instead of make more music, try to just take breaks when I'm not feeling like I'm gonna make the best thing I can.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, man. Ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's fucking wrap this up. How many minutes do we do this for?
We did almost 50.
Lit. Do you want to fucking go to clean 60?
We could do that.
Cool. Let's fucking. What do you have any like weird shit to talk about that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk about your claymation, dude. I was looking at some of the music videos you did with the claymation stuff. I've never seen another artist do a video with like a music video with claymation like that. Who are you working with? Because I also hopped in your live one time, and your lives are insane in the chat. You have such a cult fan base, man. It's like it's not like there's anybody in there. It seemed like to me there was nobody in there that wasn't commenting. But like, I hopped in there. You were talking to one of the claymation guys.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Alex. He's my friend from Australia.
Okay.
Who I worked with on this project. He did a music video for Freddie Dredd before, and that's where I saw him in the description and contacted him to work on something. I think it was Darko by Freddie. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, he's great, and I think that the claymation style is one style that I don't do a whole lot of because it is so fucking
tedious.
It's so tedious and difficult. But I think that video I really wanted to do because I thought that the style of claymation paired well with the topic and like the subject of like, you know, Hollywood and the creepiness of the industry and shit like that.
I mean, that. Well, they did look like not creepy, but just a little bit eerie. I see what you say. What you're saying with that. I feel like are you very, very involved with like every step of your video, even when you have somebody like that who you're working with, like a claymator or like an animator, be it. Are you involved in every single step of that?
So for the claymation video, I helped storyboard the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But for Robot, you see that one?
Yeah.
For Robot, that video I helped storyboard, and those guys animated it. For Fried Egg, I animated and storyboarded it, and then for the claymation one, I storyboarded it, but he animated it. And then I'll go through, and if somebody sends me something that I need tweaked, we can tweak it. But I normally, when someone else is animating, always have a role as like a writer or like storyboarder or something, because like I don't just like tell someone to do a video and then like let them like do it. Like I have the idea first. I think the only video that I have out that I didn't come up with the idea for was ironically like my biggest one, which is Genocide. That's the one where like Liven just like did a fan animation for me. And I was like, yo, like that's lit as fuck. And I like told him like, would you finish it? And then he finished it and it blew up. But that's like the one video I didn't have, you know, any control over. But the rest, yeah, I take a directorial role.
What about the rap music video? Because that one, I'd be really curious to find out where that story came from.
That was just like an idea I had in my head.
Yeah.
And Liven and I kind of like, I told him my vague idea of like it starting in a bar and going out and being like a chase with like a train. Because we were playing a lot of Red Dead at the time. And like that was just like what the song made me think of. And so that was just a joint effort between us. But yeah, that was just something I imagined. Like, I don't know, I hear my own music and I just know what I want it to look like. We're working on another animation, Liven and I, right now, for another song off Swamp. And that one, he's taking more of a role helping me with the shot listing and storyboarding and stuff. So I'm excited to see how that one comes out. It's incorporating aspects of 3D and 2D animation.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Could you ever see yourself moving more to a direction where you are solely behind the scenes of your videos? Or even doing videos for somebody else? Because I feel like in a lot of ways, it seems to me at least, that you are very interested in doing film type stuff as much as you are music.
I do music videos for the other members of Spider Gang. That's like how I kind of outlet that for now. Like Brahmin God and I have a video for his song Blinkers that's going to be coming out in like a week after we're doing this interview. And I, have helped these guys, and I'm going to keep helping these guys do videos. But other than that, in the future, I want to move into, like, doing movies or short films or, like, horror films or, like, I do want to utilize my filmmaking abilities in the future to be able to maybe start, I want to maybe start a YouTube channel down the line where I can take inspiration from, I don't know what they're called. What are these YouTube channels called? All over the fucking place where they curate like video content. You know what I'm talking about? Like Lyrical Lemonade or like Lone Wolf. Like it's like a video director nigga and he has a channel where he does videos for other niggas.
Media entertainment companies?
like that type of shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's kind of above the bridges.
Yeah, I kind of want to do one of those where I like do music videos, except I only do like music videos for people that I think is dope, so I could like kind of accumulate like a little media bubble of like shit that I think is cool. So I definitely want to maybe do some shit like that down the line, just for like fuck it, because like I'm a good director, and you know once my time being an artist is up and I'm done like having niggas look at me and talk to me and fucking bullshit, then I can go do art and be away from people.
That's funny though like, when you say you use music as a vent, and it's funny that you gravitated towards music opposed to some other medium. Like when you were a kid, were you super into movies and stuff like that too, and short films?
I want to be a director.
Okay, so
I went to college for film, and then I dropped out to do music.
So were you making music in college, and then?
Yep, and like after high school.
Yeah.
Like during the end of high school and after, and then I left to pursue my passion, which was growing, which was just doing rap music.
Yeah. Are you happy you dropped out of school? Do you feel like you missed anything from it?
No.
Not at all?
I was pretty miserable in school.
Yeah.
I was just around a bunch of like fucking people I just didn't like and just like didn't relate to at all and thought was like kind of dumb. And
it's also like when you're in a forced environment like that, it's harder to meet people who have similar interests as you.
I think school's a fucking scam, and everyone's parents only think that like school matters just because it mattered to them, but like it doesn't matter anymore. It's not what it used to be, but they think it is because they're actually uneducated, ironically, and don't know what the fuck like school is now, which is ironic because they're telling you to get educated, but then they're not smart enough to know that maybe you should like think about how you're going to get educated.
I mean, in a lot of ways, public school is like literally a holdover to make good factory workers. Like it's
it's like indoctrination.
Yeah, literally, it's like tell people sit in the line.
Now
bell,
go do this.
Yeah, exactly what it is. And to me, like for somebody like yourself who makes art, or somebody whose mind, I guess, isn't as interested in academically sitting down and learning things like that, who would rather learn skills like yourself, be it directing, be it film, be it music, whatever. Their mind just isn't going to work in that environment.
Yeah, dude, I don't like that. I like being able to be my own boss and like release shit when I want and do shit when I want. I would never forfeit that. I feel bad for people that do have to fucking forfeit control of their own music and their own art to other people. Because like what kind of that can't be fun. It sounds gay as fuck and lame.
I mean, since you've been independent this long, I don't see why you couldn't be your own boss forever in that way. Because, back to what you were saying, what could a label give you that you don't already have or do for yourself?
There was a little chunk of mango in that. No, yeah. I don't know. I plan on, like, just doing my own thing and trying my best and killing shit for the rest of fucking time. Because there's no point to not having that attitude. I'm having fun all the time. Me and my boys doing cool-ass shit, having fun. And I feel fulfilled, Like for the first time in a while, I feel hella like fulfilled, and it's a cool time to like be able to touch base with you and talk. And this is like our first conversation, first time like meeting in real life. But I think that this has been a really cool conversation, gone a lot of really cool ways.
Yeah, it's
and I'm really happy with this fucking conversation, dude.
Me too, bro.
It's been amazing.
It's been great, and I really appreciate you sitting down with me, providing the location. Appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right,
it's been
everybody.
a pleasure.
Music Matters, Lil Darkie. Tell them where to find your music, everything, your links.
Dude, if you fucking look me up on like YouTube or Spotify or like whatever, you'll probably find me.
It's all there.
It's all there. What I will say before I go is do your best, don't waste time, love your life, enjoy, just little simple things. Not everything has to be fucking extravagant and crazy all the time. You can just be a normal dude or a normal girl and be happy. Fucking try your hardest and support these guys, support Above the Bridge, support these guys, Spider Gang. I get enough support as it is. Fucking go check these guys out. Look up our, videos online. Look up Spider Gang on YouTube. But yeah, it's been hella fun, nigga.
Much appreciated, man.
Last time.